The Indian Air Force operates some of the most capable, advanced 4.5 generation jets in the world, like the Rafale. But in modern aerial warfare, that decimal point matters. Right now, India has a glaring blind spot. It lacks a true operational fifth-generation stealth fighter. This chart shows India's operational fighter squadrons. The baseline requirement to defend two borders simultaneously is 42 squadrons. But as older aircraft retire, that number has plummeted to just 30, and the pressure on those borders is compounding. Right next door, China is already fielding and actively flying its own fifth-generation stealth fighter, the Chengdu J-20. If a sudden border conflict ignites, much like the unexpected clashes in 1962 or the Galwan Valley in 2020, an adversary's stealth capability means their approach remains entirely undetected by our radar until it's too late to intercept. Operating at a numerical disadvantage is hard. Fighting blind against superior technology is fatal. India needs an immediate, massive leap forward in aerospace engineering to secure its airspace. The proposed solution is the AMCA, the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. It is an indigenous, twin-engine, stealth, multi-role fighter intended to become the backbone of the Indian Air Force by 2035. Historically, India has relied on a single state-run agency for its defense aviation, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL. But this centralized monopoly model has frequently struggled with severe production delays. Today, HAL is sitting on a massive backlog. They are already tasked with producing the Tejas light combat aircraft, upgrading the Sukhoi 30 fleet, and manufacturing domestic helicopters. Piling the development of a highly experimental fifth-generation fighter on top of that existing workload risks overstretching the agency entirely, virtually guaranteeing that the AMCA program falls off schedule. Rerunning the old state playbook here would yield predictable results. A stealth jet designed for 2035 that finally rolls off the assembly line in 2045 is obsolete the second its wheels leave the tarmac. To understand why a new approach is necessary, you have to look at the engineering required. Building a fifth-generation fighter means mastering multiple cutting-edge disciplines at the exact same time. The first requirement is stealth. Unlike older jets that carry missiles on the outside, where they act like giant radar reflectors, a stealth aircraft hides its weapons inside internal bays and uses specialized surface coatings to absorb or deflect incoming pings. Then comes supercruise. The aircraft needs to fly faster than the speed of sound without using a heat-erupting afterburner. That keeps the fuel efficiency high and the infrared heat signature practically invisible to enemy sensors. The third pillar is sensor fusion. Instead of making a pilot read 5 different screens, onboard AI processes incoming data from satellites, drones, and local radar, feeding the pilot one clean, single, actionable targeting box. And beneath all of this sits the single hardest engineering challenge, the engine. India's domestic gas turbine research has struggled for decades to produce a power plant capable of pushing these jets, meaning the first AMCAs will have to rely on foreign-built engines. This is a flying supercomputer wrapped in classified metallurgy. A single, backlogged state agency is ill-equipped to invent all of these technologies simultaneously from scratch. To solve this, the Indian Ministry of Defense is making a major structural pivot. They are adopting a model similar to how the Pentagon works with Boeing or Lockheed Martin, opening the AMCA prototype phase to private industry heavyweights. 3 massive consortiums have stepped up. First is Tata Advanced Systems. They already have deep experience manufacturing complex aerostructures, thanks to their existing supply chain partnerships with global giants like Airbus and Lockheed Martin. The second team pairs Larsen & Toubro with Bharat Electronics. L&T brings heavy engineering and precision missile systems to the table, while BEL specializes in the exact kind of radar, avionics, and electronic warfare suites a stealth fighter requires. The third option brings together Bharat Forge and BEL. Here, the advantage is a mastery of advanced metallurgy and precision engineering, backed by BEL's massive, proven military manufacturing scale. The state hasn't entirely stepped away. Government agencies will still control the AMCA's core design. The private sector's job is to take those blueprints and handle the prototype development, the supply chain integration, and the mass manufacturing. By distributing the labor to private companies that specialize in different branches of engineering, India drastically reduces the risk of the entire program stalling out on one agency's desk. This chart outlines the proposed timeline for the project. The goal is to roll out the first physical prototype by 2028. From there, it enters rigorous flight testing through 2030, with a target of formal induction into the Air Force by 2035. The physical groundwork is already in motion. Land has been allocated in Andhra Pradesh to develop a massive aerospace cluster, specifically designed to house the complex supply chain this project will require. But military aviation is notoriously difficult to schedule. Slippages are common, and India's ongoing reliance on foreign-built engines means a critical piece of the puzzle still remains outside of their complete control. Ultimately, the AMCA project is a test of a new industrial strategy. By breaking decades of state monopoly and bringing in private industry, India is attempting to restructure its entire defense ecosystem. If they get it right, they stop being the world's largest arms importer and start producing their own aerospace power.